What if I told you your greatest enemy isn't out there? It's not your boss, your ex, society, or the people who doubted you. It's not even time or death. It's you, and not the you show to the world. The war is quieter than that. It's fought behind your eyes, every single day. This is the war between the version of you that wants to grow and the voice in your head that whispers, "Why bother?" The human mind is the most powerful weapon ever created. It built empires, solved mysteries, wrote poetry, but it also built prisons, not with bars, but with thoughts, fear, doubt, shame. And the worst part, you didn't even notice when the bars closed around you. You see, no one ever teaches you how to manage the mind. We're taught how to dress it up, how to perform, how to speak, act, and behave. But what about that voice? The one that never stops? The one that replays your worst moments on loop at 2 a.m.? Yeah, that one. We call it thinking. But sometimes it's more like self-destruction in slow motion. Here's a hard truth. Most of us are living in enemy territory, our own heads. The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they knew this. They said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But let's be honest. You don't feel strong when your own mind is sabotaging you. You feel tired, exhausted. You wake up already battling yourself. You tell yourself you're not enough, that you'll fail again, that you'll never be loved like you want to be. And here's the kicker. Your mind is convincing. It knows exactly which wounds to press, which memories to drag up, which fears to inflate. Psychologists call this the negativity bias. Your brain evolved to protect you, not to make you happy. Back in the wild, noticing danger kept you alive. Now, that same wiring makes you obsess over what people think. It makes you scan for threats, rejection, embarrassment, failure, even when there are none. That's why you can succeed and still feel like a failure, why you can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. Because the war isn't out there, it's in here. Let me ask you something. Have you ever talked to yourself in a way you'd never talk to someone else? Have you said things like, "I'm useless. I ruin everything. No one cares"? You wouldn't say that to a stranger on the street. So why do you say it to yourself? Why does your mind speak in a voice that sounds like your own, but feels like a bully? It's because somewhere along the way, pain taught you how to protect yourself by shrinking. Disappointment taught you to expect the worst. Rejection taught you to stop reaching. You built armor, but now the armor won't come off. And that's the silent war. You want to heal, you want to grow, but every step forward feels like dragging the weight of your own mind, like trying to run with chains around your ankles. The mind is a battlefield, and the enemy doesn't kick down your door. It whispers, it seduces, it convinces you to settle, to hide, to numb, and you listen. Because sometimes, numbing feels safer than feeling. Distraction feels easier than confrontation, and pretending feels less painful than facing what's broken. But here's the tragedy. You weren't born this way. You weren't born doubting yourself. You weren't born afraid to speak, to try, to love. Look at children. They laugh without checking who's watching. They dance without rhythm or reason. They ask questions without shame. That was you, once, before life got loud. Before the world gave you reasons to shut down, before your mind started building walls instead of bridges. This isn't just philosophy, this is neuroscience. The more you repeat a thought, the deeper the groove becomes in your brain. Neural pathways form like trails in a forest. You walk them enough times, they become roads, highways. Eventually, your mind takes the path automatically, even if that path leads to suffering. That's why healing isn't about thinking positive. It's about noticing, interrupting, rewriting. Think of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor. He lost everything, his family, his freedom, his future. But he discovered one thing no one could take from him, the ability to choose his response. He wrote, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. That space, that's where the war is won. But let's be real. You're not in a concentration camp. You're not fighting for survival. So why does life still feel like a struggle? Because emotional battles are invisible. You can look fine on the outside, smile, post selfies, say, "I'm good," and be dying inside. Your mind becomes a mask, a stage, and you perform, day after day, hoping no one sees how tired you are. And that's what makes this war so dangerous. No one can fight it for you. No one sees the blood. No one knows the cost. But listen carefully. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer, the witness, the awareness that sees the storm, but is not the storm. Meditation teaches this, not to silence the mind, but to step back, to see the noise without becoming it. The Buddhists call it monkey mind, restless, anxious, jumping from branch to branch, but they also say, you can't fight the monkey, you have to train it. And how do you train it? You begin by noticing the story, the script your mind keeps repeating, and then you question it. Who told you you're not enough? Who convinced you love must be earned? Who made you believe that failure defines your worth? You did, or rather, a younger version of you did, in an attempt to survive. But survival is not the same as living. You're older now. You know more. You've endured. But you're still listening to a scared voice from the past. One that doesn't realize you're not trapped anymore. You can rewire. You can reframe. You can rebuild. It starts by realizing that every time you catch your inner critic, every time you pause the spiral, every time you speak to yourself with even a little kindness, you win a battle. And battle by battle, the war begins to turn. Not with fireworks, not with applause, but with silence, with peace, with the simple, profound moment when your mind finally becomes a friend. Imagine waking up without dread. Imagine trusting yourself. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing someone worth rooting for. That's not a fantasy. That's possible. But only if you stop treating your thoughts like facts. Only if you stop mistaking your inner critic for the truth. The truth is, you're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're just at war. And you've been fighting so long you forgot what peace feels like. But it's not too late. The first step? Notice the voice. Then challenge it. Then choose differently. Not once. Not perfectly. But daily. Relentlessly. With compassion. Because when you stop believing the worst about yourself, you create space for something else. Possibility. Hope. And maybe even joy. So the next time your mind turns against you, don't fight back with hate. Don't fight back with fear. Just see it. Acknowledge it. And then ask yourself, what would love do here? Because in the end, the silent war inside you isn't won by defeating yourself. It's won by remembering who you were before the world convinced you to forget. If this message stirred something in you, if it made you pause, made you reflect, then don't let it fade. Like the video. Subscribe for more truths we're often too afraid to speak. And in the comments, tell me, what's one belief you're ready to question? Let's keep fighting this war together.